What's up, cuz? One more time for you guys. Welcome to the Coffee Bar with your favorite bartender, A5 cup of coffee. Check the drink. Yeah, I'm liking it. Pineapple lemonade with a little touch of this, that, and the other. Looks wonderful. You got your notebook tonight? Fallon, co-worker, what's good, honey?
And I killed Sparky too.
All right, guys. All right. Again, it's your favorite bartender, A5 cup of coffee. Y'all know what it is. It is the Coffee Bar Live. I appreciate y'all coming out. Appreciate you coming through. Make sure y'all like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Drink more coffee and share this video. Helps me out. Appreciate it. So, man, today is going to be a little bit of a shorter show. However, we are going to have some long conversations because I know a lot of people got a lot of things to say about what may be coming in this finale. And yes, I do have a specialty drink already ready for the finale. Shout out to my cousin for the idea. I've almost perfected it, but I got a few run-throughs beforehand. If you know where I'm at, come try it out, man. It's going to be called the Double Vision. But in any case, this drink right here, pineapple lemonade, got a little bit of this and that in it. But let's get to these movies that are coming out. Let's get to this entertainment news, and we're going to go from there. First and foremost, I do want to give a shout out to all the March babies. We appreciate y'all. We appreciate y'all, especially my baby, my oldest daughter. She going to be 8. So happy birthday, honey. She that's the oldest 8-year-old I know. So I think she actually turning 18, really, but it is what it is. But shout out to all the March babies. We're gonna keep it moving. I do want to say congratulations to all the Golden Globe winners last night, including Daniel Kaluuya, sorry about that, Rosamund Pike for I Care a Lot, Chadwick Boseman posthumously, shout out to him, Andra Day for I believe it's Billie Holiday, that movie on Hulu. Check that out if you haven't already. It's a pretty decent movie. Chloe Zhao for Nomadland, Anya Taylor-Joy, Mark Ruffalo, and our boy John Boyega won one as well. So shout out to all the winners of the Golden Globes last night, and also a big shout out to the movie Soul with Pixar. Won a Golden Globe. Cool. Original score and I believe best animated movie. So wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Shout out to everybody who made that happen. Shout out to everybody who was involved with The Crown, Schitt's Creek. Don't block me, YouTube. That's the name of the show. And also shout out to everyone involved in Queen's Gambit. All of those shows won multiple awards. So shout out to those guys. They did pretty good. So some upcoming movies coming up. I just saw a clip for a movie called Thunder Force. It's got McCarthy in it, and it has Olivia Spencer. They're supposed to be like some middle-aged superheroes with this serum. It looks like it could be funny. I'll check it out. It's gonna be on Netflix. It's coming out April 9th. Shout out to my cousin. That's his birthday. But yeah, check it out. It's coming out April 9th. But we are in Another movie that's coming out on Amazon Prime at the end of April is gonna be this movie with Michael B. Jordan. I just got sent this earlier, but it's supposed to be called No Remorse. Man, that movie looks like it's gonna be Man on Fire dialed up by 10, because man, it got me hooked. I want to see this movie. It comes out again at the end of April. And man, dude, did y'all see the scene? If y'all haven't checked out the preview, go check it out. I'll actually include it at the end in the comments. But man, the dude, he Michael B. Jordan sets the car on fire and gets in the car with the dude and holds a gun to his head. So it already looks like it's gonna be interesting. I'm interested to see where it's gonna go. I'm gonna definitely check it out, and we're gonna go on from there. Again, this is Taken with John Wick. I'm not mad at that. I was thinking more Man on Fire, but yeah, I can see that. I can see that Taken with John Wick. I'm with it. Whatever it is, I'm with it. It's from the Tom Clancy, so I'm with it. Oh yeah, I posted it early, but if you didn't see it, I'll put it in the comments once the show's over. Okay, that way you can check it out, and I'll tag you to it. But moving forward, outside of those two movies, I haven't seen anything honestly coming out that I haven't already mentioned that is worth mentioning up until this point. Got a little dry on the movie news. However, this is March Madness, so we made it. We're in March, and we got a lot of things coming this weekend, as a matter of fact. So some things that I'm gonna be checking out. Y'all check it out with me. I will be doing reviews on most of these movies. We got Coming to America coming out this weekend, so I'm definitely gonna do a review on that. We got Raya and the Last Dragon for you and the kids. If y'all got any kids, that looks like it's gonna be pretty fun to watch with the kids. Of course, last week we talked about Tom and Jerry. It was okay. Check it out. I think the kids will like it. You'll probably like it with nostalgia, but it was just okay for me. Moving forward, we got Chaos Walking with Tom Holland. That's supposed to be pretty decent. I'm gonna check that out as well. I'm gonna even give this movie called I think it's called Boogie a try. I'm not exactly sure what that's about, but I'm gonna check it out for you guys. If y'all want to check it out, of course, go ahead and do that. But I'm gonna check it out and let y'all know what I think about it after that. And of course, we got what probably everybody that's in here is ready to talk about. We got the finale of WandaVision. Y'all heard the trap remix of Agatha All Along. Y'all know I'm gonna be on that pretty much until something else comes out for right now. But yeah, I do want to let you. The finale is this Friday. I know it's a lot of people that's gonna stay up Thursday or Friday morning to see how it's all gonna end. I've been getting some news that it's supposed to be longer than most of the episodes, but I gotta be honest with you guys. I feel like something's gonna be shortchanged. We'll talk about that when we get into the WandaVision episode 8. My cousin said he got a lot of notes about it, so we're gonna tackle everything, man. All theories of what y'all think is gonna go down, and what's gonna be answered, and what's gonna be left up to the movies to go ahead and answer. Because this is basically, at this point, Marvel has us so in tune. It's all just a big show at this point. It's all just a big show. So we'll see what happens. But I did get a chance to go ahead and check out the second episode of the new Superman and Lois show. And guys, it's really good. If y'all haven't had a chance to check it out on CW, it's a new show, Superman and Lois. It just started last week. I checked out the second episode, so just kind of a little bit of a recap. Last episode, one of the sons found out that he did have powers. Superman, yes, he does have two sons instead of one like in the comics. He does have two sons in this show. Him and Lois have moved back to Smallville at this point. And the cool thing about it is it deals more with Superman trying to balance the life of being Superman and trying to be a dad at the same time, which is a dynamic we don't normally get to see. Because if you watch it with Superboy, he's not really around. And then even in the newer incarnations, because Superboy's not, I guess, really his son, Connor. He's not really his son. He's a clone. But in the newer comics where he actually does have a son, I just don't see I just don't see the dynamic that much. Me personally reading it, maybe somebody that's a little bit deeper into his stories can see it a little bit more. But I like this show because it does try to see him balance out, being there for his sons and then also being Superman and kind of maintaining all those relationships, those personal relationships. So I like I said, I definitely like it. I like where it's going. This Lex Luthor, if you didn't see the last episode, they did show that this person that attacked him is actually Lex Luthor. He does seem more relatable, right, Juan? That's why I like it. He seems a lot more relatable. Every other incarnation has him being pretty much the savior of the world, and he's just almost untouchable with his powers and whatnot. And this one makes him more. It shows him more vulnerable, and it shows him trying to make the right choice. And even though he does make the right choice, it just still seems like the wrong choice. The way people react. So I definitely like it. And this Lex Luthor is a little bit different as well. From what I'm seeing and from what I'm gathering, it looks like he's from a different Earth. He knows everything there is to know about Superman. Superman doesn't know who he is as of yet. But it looks like this Lex Luthor is actually from a different Earth, which actually kind of plays into what all happened. I know everybody doesn't watch the CW shows, so let me catch you up real quick. So last season, the CW crossover shows, if y'all didn't know, the CW universe, or what they call the Arrowverse, because it started with the Arrow show, it does a crossover every year with it started with him and the Flash, and then as more characters came in, like Supergirl and Black Lightning and all of those, they all do a crossover episode. Well, this last one they did a crossover, and it was like the multiverse. So they even had Ezra Miller's Flash come in. They had different Batmans come in from different universes. They had the different Supermans, even the one that was played by Brandon Routh, who actually plays not Captain Atom, but the Atom. In this series, he actually played Superman before he played Atom, and they had him come back. And so that you had the different Supermans and all of this, and all the worlds basically collapse into one, which is basically how it happened in DC. Not just exactly, but pretty much what happened. And it looks like from what they're explaining, right, Arrow it was a nice show. It kind of declined, but I definitely, especially the first two seasons. If you haven't watched Arrow or you never saw Arrow, watch the first two seasons. They're awesome. But anyway, moving forward, so it looks like this Lex Luthor is from maybe one of those Earths that got collapsed in on itself, and he got away just in time. And man, he is giving Superman the business. Him in his suit. He even stabbed him with some kryptonite in the last episode. I didn't talk about it much because I wanted you all to be able to see it. But in this episode, it kind of carries over. And he still doesn't know that it's a version of Lex Luthor, but he does know that this guy knows a lot about him. And he's trying to integrate his son into being a Kryptonian. And we find out some things about his son at this point that aren't too pleasing to his son or him at this point. But yeah, go check it out, man. Go ahead and check it out so you don't have to binge watch it. The last episode came on yesterday. So yeah, it should be on the CW app for free at this point. Moving forward, Black Lightning is still being depressing. That's all I got to say about that. I wanted to pick up, but I'm having to literally drag myself through Black Lightning episodes at this point. He's just sulking so much about what happened last season with his friend passing away, and I get that, but man, I get it, but man, I need like 1 or 2 episodes of that, and I need us to kind of start moving past that. But honestly, I'm dragging myself through that. I'm dragging myself through Walker. It's okay, and on the low end of okay, just kind of like at this point. But I'm trying to keep hope alive because of the fact that it has Jared Padalecki in it. I'm trying to keep it alive, but So, in any case, we are going to move forward to the Big Bang at this point. We are not talking about Hex Sex. Don't come in here talking about Hex Sex. That was crazy. One of my friends commented that, and it just kind of caused some traction. But we are going to be talking about WandaVision episode 8, our theories for episode 9, and then we're going to move forward after that. I'm going to take a drink before we start discussing this because I'm sure everybody has something to say. So, bring on the XX. So, come on, man. Don't agree with him. But episode 8 was, man, if you didn't have allergies and dust was not in the air, then you do not have an excuse because it took us back through some traumatic experiences with Wanda. We got a little bit of a backstory with Agatha Harkness. In case y'all didn't know, Agatha in the comics was burned at the stake, and we actually get some semblance of what they tried to do something to her at the stake. But her powers are too strong. She was able to basically suck the life force out of them, including her mother. Now, the crazy part about this was you saw when man, Jeremy, I see your comment now. I'm sorry I didn't see it before, but yeah, I'm kind of disappointed in Walker as well. They said they renewed it for a second season at this point. I don't know why, but hey, I'm wishing Jared Padalecki all the best because he gave me so many years in Supernatural. So I'm trying, man. I'm trying to be supportive. But yeah, moving forward, yeah, back to WandaVision. So yeah, we get a flashback of Agatha Harkness. Her coven is actually the one who has her at the stake at this point. Now, if you didn't read the comics or if you're not really into the comics, how she ends up dying was the people from New Salem actually caught her and they actually burned her at the stake. So it looked like they were trying to kind of replay this out here, but instead she absorbs the life force out of them and her mom, who's actually part of this coven, and they're basically condemning her for learning the dark arts before it's her time. And she's just like, man, I don't care about none of that. I'm more powerful than y'all rules at the end of the day. They tried, they failed. She killed them all, including her mom. And she takes the brooch that she wears to this day, and she basically flies off. Now, the crazy thing about this episode is we don't get a show intro or anything like that. I thought we would, but we don't. We get the Agatha Harkness kind of cloud come out of the Marvel, and I did like that. But yeah, that's what we got instead. And then we kind of flash forward to Wanda, and they actually show us what happens when Wanda walks through Sword looking for Vision. I always thought that she did somehow take the body, especially with the interview with Bettany. Well, I can't exactly say that, but Strange did do something similar. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about it now. Let's talk about that before we move on with Wanda. So my cousin, if you can't see the comment, he's saying that they discriminated against Agatha because Strange did pretty much the same thing. He went into the sanctum. Of course, he was fishing around Wong while he was listening to his AirPods or whatnot, and he was finding basically the forbidden text, and he was learning a lot faster than he was supposed to. That's how Doctor Strange got to where he was. A lot of people say, well, why is he more powerful than some of the other magic users or anything like that? Because he read those texts before it was time for him to. However, that being stated, I get what you're saying, but at the same time, I forget her name at this point. The character that Tilda Swinton plays, she actually said that she already knew he was coming and she already knew what he was going to do. He's supposed to be the prodigy and the best of them all, and they knew he was going to be good. With Agatha, she's more evil, and they saw the evil in her. At this point, I don't think she's necessarily evil. I think she's more amoral than anything, but that's what the witches saw when she was trying to, learn these dark magic. So I don't think it was discrimination. I think it's more so what she intended to do with the power, rather than what Doctor Strange was intending to do. Because, like I said, the character that Tilda Swinton plays, she already knew he was coming And we know this because of Avengers Endgame. She already knew about Doctor Strange before he even knew he was coming. So she knew what he was going to do with the power. She knew that he was coming to protect them. So maybe that was the difference between her and him. Shoot out your next notes, but yeah, I think that's a pretty decent enough answer for you. So moving on, we see the different phases of Wanda, because what Agatha is trying to do is figure out how Wanda gets these powers and why Wanda doesn't know what she's done. Because at first she thinks that Wanda knows what she's doing, up until she was explaining the different hexes and the different spells that Wanda's cast, and Wanda had no clue what she was talking about. And that's how we know that at this point Wanda is basically on autopilot. So even when she does the mind trippy stuff, or even when she does the thing that she does to Thanos as far as crushing his armor, those are like willful things, but she still has latent abilities that are way more powerful, and we see that with the Hex. At this point, we do know that the Hex, and we'll talk about that in a second, the Hex is not caused by anybody but Wanda. I thought somebody maybe was helping her out, because this was far beyond, what's up, cuz? This was far beyond anything she had shown in the past. However, at this point, she all of this magic is indeed Wanda. Let's see. I don't think she's evil, though. I think her power was more like Raven in the Titans and Watch. I can't say that. Like I said, I don't disagree with you as far as the evil part. I think, like I said, she's more amoral. She's more self-serving than anything. She's not necessarily trying to take over the world per se, but she is trying to develop and get as much power as possible. And that's a slippery slope if we kind of look at it that way. But I don't disagree with you at this point. Now, that being stated, getting back to Wanda, the first tragedy that we see is they introduce her parents. We do get to see her parents, and we do get to see what life was like for Wanda when she was younger, and we do get to see where a lot of these shows came from. Her dad used to bring them home to help them learn English and whatnot, and she definitely got involved in these shows, especially like the Dick Van Dyke Show, I Love Lucy. We saw those in the first 2 episodes. We saw the Malcolm in the Middle, of course, in episode 7, if I'm not mistaken. I'm sorry, no, Malcolm in the Middle was episode 6. And then we saw a few other shows that were in there. Now, some of those shows didn't match up with the times that they came out, especially like Malcolm in the Middle, but that's okay. I mean, small things. In any case, we get to see where she gets this from, and then we get to see the actual Stark bomb hit that actually killed her parents. Now, that being stated, that red light had the same sound that the toaster had, so we starting to see each commercial did have something to do with Wanda's trauma, and not so much with the Infinity Stone. So I think this episode kind of answers that question for us. Moving forward, we get to see Wanda, where Agatha says cast a probability hex, which basically is the reason why her and Pietro lived, because she shielded them from the bomb blowing up. She changed it. Yeah, it kind of blew up out of nowhere. Absolutely. Absolutely. But yeah, so that does happen, and we get to see we kind of get to see her use her powers. Now, my question to you all is, what do you all think? And I talked about this in my video. If y'all haven't checked it out, check out my breakdown on YouTube. But do y'all think this means that she's actually a witch? Or is she actually a mutant? Because there is a difference in Marvel Comics. There is a difference. I mean, you can be a witch, or a magic user without being a mutant. So, do y'all think that she's the original Scarlet Witch from the comics, where she's an actual mutant, or do y'all think she was a witch with some mutate abilities from the Mind Stone? Y'all let me know what y'all think on that. I'm thinking it could go either way at this point. I'm sure they'll probably try to explain it somehow to fit the story the best way they want to. But yeah, I did think that those were her parents. Honestly, I don't think those were like surrogate parents or anything like that, where they're gonna introduce Magneto as her real dad or anything like that. I think those were her real parents. I don't think that they were actually beings there for the sake of being there. I did see a theory where they thought that her mom may have been a witch as well, and she just didn't get a chance to teach Wanda, because for all intents and purposes, if she is a witch and not a mutant, then her powers actually, or what she can do, because she probably wouldn't have trained, then her powers would have just remained latent, and they probably would have went away because she wouldn't have had any training. I'm seeing a lot of different things here, and I'm glad I'm seeing different viewpoints on that. So Marcus thinks she is a mutant, and the stone woke it up. I can see that. The stone, in my opinion, more so didn't wake anything up. I think it amplified whatever was already there. That's my personal opinion. I do believe that, yeah, she already had powers. She was already a mutant, and it just amplified it. I feel like her first use of her powers was when she was a younger child, and that means that they weren't woken up by the stone. That means they were already there. So yeah, that's just my personal opinion. Mark, you might be right, but I think it was just whatever she had was amplified. In any case, we do get to see, speaking of the stone, we do get to see the scene where she was experimented on, where all the previous people had been killed by touching the stone. But it looks like the stone revealed itself to her. Because nobody before I was about to say Ultron. We'll get to that in a minute. But before Vision got the stone, before Ultron was messing with it and actually took it out and put the stone in him, nobody realized that the scepter was the Mind Stone. We did see the effects it had. We did see that people would look at it and get visions. We did see that it was capable of mind controlling most people, with the exception of Tony Stark for some reason. We did get to see that the effects the Mind Stone had, but we didn't know it was the actual Mind Stone until way later on. In any case, the Mind Stone revealed itself to her. First person I would say that it revealed itself to, and then she got to see a glimpse of her future, just like Tony saw a glimpse of his future. And we'll talk about that in the parallels of what the Hex meant and the creation of Ultron in a second. Y'all let me know what y'all think about my theory on that. So the Mind Stone does heighten her latent abilities, and later on we see her in the cage with Pietro running back and forth and her actually playing with the blocks. That's what led to this experiment. And this is where Strucker came in at, and we see from the second episode, the Strucker Watch. Y'all get the connection, the experimentations, trauma, and then we get to see the Strucker Watch. That's who experimented on them. That's that second episode commercial. So cool thing there, cool connection, cool callback there. And so we actually keep moving through her trauma. After that, we do get to see that she actually glitched the video footage, so they don't know exactly what happened. So same thing that she's doing here, she did there. And then we also see her right after Pietro dies, which is another not so great moment in her life. And we see Vision kind of come in to try to comfort her as best he can, because let's not forget, he is a robot. He doesn't get all the intricacies of being human. But he does drop a interesting line. He does drop the line, what is grief but love trying to persevere. Absolutely love that line. And I think that foreshadows what's gonna actually... Wanda's life is tragic. I do not disagree at all. But yeah, she just lost her brother. She's trying to find some sort of comfort. Vision does provide that for her, even though she kind of rejects it at first. She does accept him as a friend. They kind of have this connection, not only through the Mind Stone, but this grief-stricken connection as well. Him trying to understand it and her actually going through it. So we're actually seeing that. And guys, if y'all don't realize it by now, don't get me wrong, what Wanda's doing is not absolutely the correct thing, but she tried to do the right thing, because we're going to get to the sword scene here in a second. So, and I'm going to explain exactly what I mean by that. So we get to Wanda, and we get to everything going on here, and she's watching Malcolm in the Middle, and like I said, I think the grief line is foreshadowing what may happen to Vision and what Wanda may have to let go in episode 9. So the next tragedy, quote unquote, is her actually seeing Vision being taken apart by Hayward. She doesn't storm Sword, as he put it. He actually let her in. She was asking to be let in. The guy at the front wasn't going to let in. Now, mind you, if Hayward wouldn't have said yes, I could see her storming Sword, but he did let her in. He did let her see Vision, and I think it was in hopes that she would bring him back to life, as he said it himself, bring him back online. Then he retracted and said, bring him back to life. So I think he was hoping that she would. But when Wanda went down, mind you, I told y'all about the connection with the Mind Stone. When she went down to actually see if there was Vision still inside somewhere, she said she couldn't feel him. But if y'all kind of reverse back real quick, go watch Infinity War. Go watch Infinity War, not Endgame, Infinity War. And she, quote unquote, feels him through the Mind Stone. When she's trying to understand what's going on with the stone, there's a scene where she's using her magic, and they're talking about the Mind Stone and how he feels it, and her powers and how she feels it, because they have that connection. And that's what she meant by she couldn't feel him. She couldn't feel the rest of Vision, because remember, Vision is indeed the Mind Stone, Ultron, and the vibranium body, and Jarvis. So it's a mixture of different things. She couldn't feel him anymore. So that being stated, she did not take the body, which I thought she did. She did not. She left. She left him. She was going to grieve. She went to Westview, where she got the letter, which Vision, I believe, sent to her before, but right after Civil War. I believe that's when he sent that to her. Had the letter, had the deed. The deed basically showed that he wanted to grow old with her, or some semblance of growing old, because he doesn't really age. And showed her the plot of land that they plan to build a house on. Now, everybody keeps trying to poke holes in where did Vision get the money. Listen, Vision was Jarvis, guys. Vision was Jarvis. I believe that gives him access to funds. Not only that, Tony Stark does fund the Avengers, right? How did he make a video like that? Wait, what video? I'm lost, Marcus. I'm lost on that. How he made the but he cut it. Marcus, Hayward. If you're referring to Hayward, he cut the video. It only showed when she came in, because she did use her magic to open the doors. Remember that. But if you looked around, everybody was calm. So I thought it was maybe she had everybody under mind control, but everybody was calm because he let her in, and she wasn't causing a ruckus. And she only used her magic to open the door, and then she only used her magic to break the window to come down. His video did show. His video showed her walking up to the parts. I don't remember her showing the video taking him, but he may have edited it. I mean, we've seen worse edits before, so it wouldn't be a far stretch to say that he edited it. He edited when she busted in the door. He edited when she broke the glass and got into where Vision was, and then cut the part where she was actually down there and had that. It's not a far reach for that. I mean, they work for Sword. They work for the government. So, Marcus, to answer your question, he didn't know that she could bring him back. What he was banking on is that she would, because they had, remember, he says, we've tried all type of energy sources. We've taken him apart and put him back together. Exactly, cousin. Exactly, that's what I'm saying. But he already said we already took him apart. That's what they were doing again. They already put him back together. Right. And right, Kyle. And he could not figure out how to get Vision back online because he's too complex. you had the two smartest people in the world that actually put him together. He had the two smartest people in the, well, two of the smartest people in the world that actually put Vision together, in Bruce Banner and Tony Stark. And they couldn't figure out how to make him work again, especially without the Mind Stone, right? That being stated, he was hoping that Wanda would just bring him back to life. She didn't. That's why he turned her into a terrorist. Didn't do what she wanted. He was trying to understand what was going on with the Vision inside, because we did see that vision. In any case, moving forward, Wanda does have the deed. She reads it. She gets to the plot of land, and she sees the heart, which I believe the deed and the heart were actually the calendar. I'll answer that one in a second. Was actually the calendar. That's why in the first episode, when we see the calendar with the heart on it, that's what it was referring to. Marcus, chill. Yeah, it did look like it was they was already in a bad rut anyway, man. The black guy walked out, he looked all mad. The lady was laughing, but she was laughing at nobody. It did look kind of depressing. I'm not gonna feel to you there, but that still doesn't give her the right to control everybody. So we see, like I said, I think the deed magically turned into the calendar. That's why we got the heart on the 10th. That to me is the day that she cast the hex, and that's the heart when she got her heart back. So that's what I think that means. Y'all tell me what y'all think on that. I'm gonna answer that question in a second, Marcus. How did they get the body? But in any case, we see Wanda, and she finally breaks after all this stuff that just happened. Her parents dying, her brother dying, her lover of life just been taken from her twice in front of her. And we see all of these things happen in the beginning of the episode. So we see all this trauma, and then we see the trauma more so explained in the episode itself. And then she just explodes with a burst of energy. She builds the house, she manifests Vision, and then she turns Westview into what it is now and casts the hex. So that's where we're at right now. And Agatha herself senses this and basically is like, yo, what is going on? Who's this powerful to cast all these spells and do this? And that's why Agatha is able to move the way she was moving until she found out what she wanted to know. Now, Pietro, at this point, we know, they called him Pietro, we know was Agatha's eyes and ears, but this still doesn't really explain how she got his body and why she used that body to be Pietro, because we do know that she couldn't use the original Pietro because the bullets, and she didn't want to use necromancy because his body was in a different area across the water. So she didn't want to use that body, but what made her pick the Pietro out of another universe? That's what my question is. That's interesting in itself. In any case, Marcus asked earlier, how did they get his body? Now, here's the thing. It's very possible that because Shuri was working on the body, and even though his body is made of vibranium, it's very possible that Wakandans did make an exception for Vision because he was an Avenger. He was a sentient being, and Shuri did work on him. That being stated, I believe that they let the body go to Sword because they actually were, quote unquote, acting in the interest of Tony Stark because he passed. So we don't know what Tony Stark would have did at this point. I'm thinking they tried to talk on his behalf, and they took the body saying that they were going to basically put him to rest. That's what I believe happened. Now, if you have a rebuttal to that, I understand, because in the comics, Wakandans are very, very protective of vibranium. But being that he was a living being, and I believe that Shuri understood that, they might have released his body as an exception to the rule because he was an actual living Avenger. And he did try to protect him. So that's my theory on that, on how they got the body. That's fair. That's fair, Kyle. I'm not mad at that. I think that was to get us all theorizing that, maybe they were bringing the Fox X-Men over some type of way. That's not. I'm not mad at that theory at all. I'm not mad at that theory at all. She did say she was controlling him, and she said she used some type of crystal possession in order to do so. So that's the only reason I asked is because it is indeed a body. But yeah, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. That was a nice. I believe that was a nice fake out by Marvel. And I honestly, guys, I think they're, with the exception of maybe Hugh Jackman or anything like that, I think they're gonna leave that X-Men series as far behind as they can. With the exception of maybe Hugh Jackman, maybe Michael Fassbender, because he's just a great Magneto in bad movies, but he's a great Magneto. He's a compelling character. But I think they're going to leave that X-Men series where it's at, just to be honest with you guys. After seeing this red herring, as Kyle put it, I don't think they're going to bring them over. In any case, moving forward, after we see Wanda cast the hex and all of that, we see the slow clap come from Agatha, and it looks like she's figured out what's going on. She understands that with the help of the Mind Stone, amping her powers, that Wanda is now what they call the Scarlet Witch. And this is the first time in the MCU they refer to her as the Scarlet Witch. They've called her Witch before, or a little witch, but not the Scarlet Witch. So don't be trying to get all particular with me. In any case, we get that. We get the kind of showing of the Scarlet Witch, and it looks like she has the same type of crown. If you go back and look at Agatha's mom, she had like that energy crown. It looks like the shape of the Scarlet Witch's actual crown that she wears on her head in the comics, and what she saw in her future self. So that was pretty cool, a callback. And so we get the end. The boys are yelling for their mom, and Agatha basically has them on an energy leash. She tells her she's the Scarlet Witch, and the episode ends. So then after that, we get the after credit scene where we see the White Vision, which, guys, if you are not familiar with the comics, there is a White Vision that is not Ultron. So Ultron could come back. I'm not Xing that out. I'm not Xing that out at all, but I do want you all to know there is a Vision version that is the White Vision, and basically it's it's Vision, but he lacks any emotional attachments to Wanda or anyone else for that matter. So yeah, guys, I like all the Ultron, Hayward maybe Ultron. I absolutely love that one. Because Ultron does have a human counterpart in the comics, so I absolutely love that one. Hayward may be a part of Diet Vision. Yeah, Vision, no sugar, right? Low sugar. But yeah, it's basically a soulless Vision, Kyle. I like that. It's basically a soul. He, for all intents and purposes, he has all the same powers as Vision. The Mind Stone, of course, is replaced by like an energy beam generator or something like that. And I think that's what that's going to be at the top of his head. But it is soulless Vision. Yeah, absolutely. So I would love if it was somehow leading into Ultron, but guys, I do want to let you all know, don't get too super excited and put your eggs all in that basket, because there is a actual Vision that doesn't have that. Now, moving forward to episode 9, guys, I want to see you all's theories in the comments and everything. I will be answering all tonight till about 11, so y'all let me know. Okay, so I want to speak to that, Marcus, while we're on this live. That's why we have a live, and that's why I cut the rest of the information short, because I knew a lot of people have a lot of questions about what's going on with WandaVision. So I do want to first of all point out that my cousin is saying that Ultron could come back, but after she tries to merge the soulless Vision with the vision that she's manifested. And that actually makes sense, because remember, Vision can't leave the hex because he's a manifestation. He's not the real Vision. He's not the body we thought that Wanda put back together. That's why he couldn't leave the hex. So that's more so explained at this point. But if we take the manifestation, what she takes as Vision, with her chaos magic, because she can create it, and she tries to merge it with the soulless Vision,
it could be a way that Vision comes out of this alive still. It could be a way where pulling like a Mark. If you've all watched Titans, pulling um, a Deathstroke and his son, kind of like that. I could see that. I could definitely see that. But yeah, interesting. That's an interesting theory to see if that actually works. But I do want to let you all know, just like Evan Peters, if you all look before, Evan Peters was a part of the cast, and it kind of foreshadowed that he was going to be on the show. The James Spader, the guy who plays Ultron's voice, is actually on the cast list for Google. Now, Google doesn't always get that right, so it could have been somebody changing it around or something like that. However, the Evan Peters part was right. If the James Spader part is correct, that does mean there's a possible way that we hear Ultron, at least his voice, kind of creeping us out a little bit. But that's a good one. I hear a lot of people saying the twins aren't gonna make it. It's very possible, but due to the fact that they don't have a Mephisto type character to actually absorb them like he did in the comics, it's very possible that they make it out of this alive as well. Mind you, guys, they are trying to set up the Young Avengers, right? Miss America is coming very soon, which she will actually be in the Doctor Strange 2 movie. So that's also setting up the Young Avengers. What's up with that rabbit? Okay, I'm gonna answer that in a few seconds, Kyle. After this Young Avengers statement. So the Young Avengers, we got Miss America coming in Doctor Strange 2, which she could be either Young Avengers or she could be part of the Ultimates, which I hope the Ultimates, because we already got Monica, we already got Miss America coming, we already got Carol, Black Panther's already there. Now all we need is Blue Marvel, and we got the Ultimates. But that's just a hope for me. Me personally, I want to see the newer team coming in. But if we're looking at the Young Avengers, we got Marvel coming, we got Kamala Khan coming, Miss America, Miss Marvel. We got Ironheart coming very soon. We got it's very possible that because we already been introduced to the scrolls, we maybe have Hulkling coming, is basically a scroll. He's actually morphed into a Hulk-like character. It's called Hulkling. So we got him as a possibility, and we got Hawkeye's daughter coming, and we even got Stature, which is Ant-Man's daughter. We even got her. So we got the Young Avengers here, and Billy and Tommy would actually add to that. So I hope they make it out to make this Young Avengers thing happen. Maybe with like Spider-Man as their leader. That would be pretty cool to see. They could be setting it up, and then again, maybe not. Maybe they go the other way with the Ultimates, and we never see any of this come to pass. And Billy and Tommy bite the dust. Very possible. I'm hoping different though. Um, but to answer your question, the rabbit. So Kyle, the rabbit could be one of two things. It could indeed be her husband that she keeps referring to, Ralph. He's just metamorphosed into this rabbit as a form of hiding. So she calls him Senior Scratchy, which is a nickname for the devil. So it could be Mephisto, but due to the whole, they can't show it in, I believe, Japan. They can't show like devil beings or something like that in Japan. Uh, I don't know if that'll come to pass, but it could be him. And then because his name is Senior Scratchy, it could be a reference to her son in the comics, which his name is Nicholas Scratch. It could be a reference to him. So it's one or two of those. That's my theory. But that rabbit is definitely not a regular rabbit. I mean, you seen the way he ate. What, he ate the bird? Yeah, that's not a regular rabbit. So yeah. Wanda gonna be strange. Where I got you. I got you. It's possible. It's possible. So basically, I got a theory uh that the boys are gonna vanish when basically the boys are gonna vanish when the hex drops. Very possible. Very possible because they are magically induced, and but at the same time, they're very powerful. I really think I really think in this next episode, and I hope this happens. I've seen a theory out there that we're gonna get a Quicksilver scene because it looks like they're gonna have a family team up. Because you see, if you've seen in the preview, they have this like all Incredibles, where is Billy, Tommy, Vision, and Wanda. So it looks like they have this Incredibles thing, and I saw on Reddit where they somebody was theorizing that Speed um is gonna actually have a Quicksilver scene where he's running around, has the music playing, he has the like the Sweet Dream scene, or if time could go by like when he did in the kitchen. That would be pretty awesome if they had a Quicksilver scene with Speed instead of Quicksilver. I think that would be pretty awesome. But y'all let me know what y'all think about that. But that being stated, these are the biggest questions we got. Who is going to be the person pulling the strings behind everything that's going to lead us into Doctor Strange 2, right? Are we still going to get that guest star appearance, and is it going to be Doctor Strange? Um, is Vision going to make it out of this alive, right? Are we going to get reintroduced to Ultron? And are the boys going to make it out of this alive? We know Wanda's going to make it out of this alive, but we do also know that Wanda is going to be dealing with some of this stuff in the aftermath of Spider-Man and Doctor Strange too. So y'all let me know if y'all have the answers to any of those questions, or any of your theories in the comments. Like I said, I will be commenting and responding back up until about 11. But y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments below. Please like, share, subscribe with this video. This video will be posting on YouTube tomorrow. So if you missed anything, you'll be able to actually check it out there. Also, check out my pineapple lemonade. Absolutely wonderful. Y'all have a wonderful rest of your night. I really appreciate y'all joining the live. Next Wednesday, see you guys, same time, same coffee place at 8. We're not discussing Hex. We are not discussing Hexes one. But we're out of here. Y'all have a great night. Remember, take care of yourselves, drink more water, and also remember, drink more coffee. Go subscribe. We're out.